Why the purple PFP? Because of there. It's like a, well, I shouldn't say it's a trend. It's not. What's going on in Africa, like South Africa or something. And basically, well, sadly, they had to make this trend to get people to bring awareness to what's going on because, you know, people don't speak about something unless it's trending. I'm in love with sadly. He doesn't know that. I never told him. I'm so young. He never loved anybody since he lost his hand and his girl. Where do you live? Try not to. Yeah. Well, it's not new. I've had that PFP. I just made it purple. Cream. Cookies and cream. I'm trying not to, because when I eat, this comes off. But it's cookies and cream, ice cream, and whipped cream. Well, Mr. Gasparini, what do you think? That seems like a lot. This is so good. Look, there are three kinds of pipe. There's the kind of pipe you have, which is garbage. Berries. I was gonna put bananas, but then I said no. Which I should have because bananas are like. Because it's nice. Cookies and cream, ice cream, and whipping cream. And what did they say? I lost my hand. I lost my. Johnny has his hand. Johnny has his bride. Oh man, I was walking around quoting that a lot. I lost my hand. Who is this Lee? What the? Where are all these people coming from? Bruh. What? Where are all these people coming from, bruh? First it's Lee. No wait, first it was Andrew, and now it's Lee. I thought of something in my head. Well, yeah, something that I messaged someone. It was funny. Well, not funny, but. Did we invent crispy chicken? Nah. We just put it where it belongs, inside burritos and tacos, obviously. Extra saucy. See? That's what I'm trying to avoid. Overachieving? Thank you. Did you ask for it? No, but we did it anyway. Crispy chicken from Taco Bell. Brand new classic. I lost my hand. I lost my bride. I'm gonna be saying that. Johnny has his hand. Johnny has his bride. It's storytelling with Panera broccoli cheddar soup. Didn't read the book anyway. It just feels good with Panera.
That username has gotta go.
Appreciate what our mechanics can do and who they are. No one looks forward to seeing the inside of an auto shop.
Crazy. Anyways, I was watching Moonstruck, but let me play some music. We're eating cookies and cream ice cream and whipped cream. Man, I got a lot. Thank you for the ice cream cone. Oh, excuse me. Yes, I'm very much lactose intolerant, but I still do it anyways. Just come. A Gemini 3. Oh. Well. Play this one, I'll play the other one. Talking on the TV. Well, I didn't.
With Smith's same-day pickup and delivery, you can shop the same in-store prices and have your groceries brought right to you. So you could spend time on what matters most.
I was like, They said that they favored in the company's favor. For that refund, they were like, yeah, so we sided with them. And I was like, what the heck? So I had to call them. They reopened it and I said, look, I got an email that shows they said it didn't process. And then after I got done talking with them, they processed the money. No way. You ain't gonna take my $400. I don't even use your website anymore. Like, it's not worth it. For $400 a month. And then, yeah, so no. Poly relationship? What? Just come be the lonely. And you got something to give. Like, cause why are you gonna sit here and try to take $400 of my money? You crazy. My favorite ice cream. I'm slowly liking cookie dough. And I should get some. Okay. I'm gonna tell you something that was funny. So, earlier today was funny because I was pretty loud too, right? I was like, it was awkward because someone was like, oh, someone wants to talk to you. They're a fan of yours, right? And so I was like, okay. So I was talking to them on the phone. I was like, oh, hey. I was like, hey. And like on cause like on my end, the other person they heard like, cause they were like, is this really Tophiachu? And then they were like laughing on this side, cause they were like, is this really Tophiachu? Started laughing. Is this really Tophiachu? And I was like, and they were looking at me and they started laughing cause I said hey aloud. And it was so funny. No, it was true because they were laughing on this side. They were like, I was on the phone. I said, hey. And then they looked at me, all three of them. And I was like, and then they started laughing. And I was like, oh, sorry. I was a little loud when I said hey, but it was funny. She's doing good. She's doing pretty good. Okay. Okay. Yeah, they started laughing at me, and one lady started laughing because she heard them clear as day. Is this really Tophia? And I was like, oh, awkward. They were laughing at me, and I'm like, sorry, I was loud. Because I say, hey, oh, loud. I didn't mean to say hey. It was just, loud. I had a dress close to that dress, a black one, black and white one. It was similar. That's all I wore to the dances because that's the only dress I had. So when I had a dress that I needed to wear to the dance, no. Why are you asking everyone if they're pregnant? No. But I had a dress just like that, close to it. Actually, very close. Pinky. I keep eating. I'm used to that. This is a lie, baby. Oh, that's all I agree. My brother would have probably learned this on piano. I just thought about it. I wish he didn't sell my keyboard, because I could have tried to learn it. Saturday night, I don't know what I'm doing for Thanksgiving. Should we hear it again? It'll show you the comments. Yep, I agree. We definitely need Christmas album. We do. Nobody does that, do we? I just been listening to her a lot, so what's going on? I don't know. What is going on? What's the other song? No, I'll put letting a guy eat anything else. That's kind of rude. I'm not always eating. I just wanted to eat some ice cream. Slightly forgot I had this. Did I just see that comment? What the heck? I'm not even gonna repeat it. Cause I get sad and I eat ice cream all day. I'm just kidding. I don't know. No, because I choose not to. I don't want to see anything negative about me. Even though I tend to do sometimes. But not like YouTube videos. I only see one, probably two. One guy who got exposed and will pop a gut. And then there was another one. Lip combo. Well, it's a lip liner that I got from Temu and an eyeshadow. No joke. Got ice cream in my hair. Like, no. Oh Lord, excuse me. I'm just gonna play this one. Forgot something. I knew I would forget. What's melting? My finger is frozen. The Ariana Grande diet? That's kind of that's messed up. No, I'm not full. I will let you know momentarily. I'm trying not to get it because, well, hold on. It's not like I care. Well, I do, slightly. You know what I think is so weird? I keep having, like, this. It's not like it's a different type of reoccurring dream, except it's in different places. And it's always a cemetery, and it's always like I'm with people, and then we're always like, I guess that they come out of the ground and chase us, and it's like always the same thing. Like, why? Why do I always dream that? Even when my brother was alive, or yeah, I hadn't really lost anyone. I dreamt about the cemetery. What the heck? Like, it's just a dream that keeps happening. It's just weird. It's melting. It is 1 minute. What was it? 1 minute, Olivia Dean or something? Oh Lord. Nobody hexed me. This was like way before trolls and stuff too. Like, I've had dreams about the dead all the time. Dead, 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 dead. It's just I can't escape it. Like, it's cold. But yeah. I don't even know. Okay. His nose, his lips. What song is that? That was not what I was looking at, but okay. The batteries are dying, I think. Finally, Jesus. I'm not out of breath from talking. I can't even see, like, the usernames because it's going too fast. Or anyone. Okay. You take this. Oh, this just reminded me. Who took a picture? It was one of my friends took a picture. Cause I took. Okay, so I took cookies and cream ice cream because like there's a treasure chest. You guys, it's vote like a voting thing. Anyways, I think I know who. And so I got cookies and cream ice cream. Then I put marshmallow mateys. And then I put, and they were like, wow. And I was like, duh, you could use cereal as a topping. Like, it's not that. They're like, I think they took a picture. They're like, can I take a picture? And I was like, yeah. And then they were like, because they're gonna, oh, I know who it was. Yeah, now I remember. I invented it, guys. I'm just kidding. I was like, you never thought to do that? Like, they acted like I invented. Oh, Lord. I'm pretty sure I invented that. For you, I invented it. That made me think like, Rami and Michelle, when they said that their dad, created Post-its or something like that. I said that was messed up. Hello. I didn't watch it over. It's melting. You could really taste the salt. Cause what? That was some salt. You didn't know salt is in ice cream? I don't know where your brain's at. You know that's how you make ice cream, right? And there's literally ice cream salt. There is salt in ice cream. That's how you make ice cream. And sugar. You put like a little bit of salt, and then you put like sugar. Like if you get like Ziploc bags, you get one big Ziploc bag, one really small Ziploc bag. You get heavy whipping cream. Half and half, I think it is, on heavy whipping cream. You need ice, and then you put like salt and sugar, and you shake it. That is, look it up. That is it. That is how you make ice cream. Because the salt, sugar itself will not, like, it's a reactant, right? Like, you have to think scientifically. We made ice cream in chemistry class because it's a scientific thing. The salt and the sugar help to freeze it and make the ice cream. If you just put sugar, you're not going to get ice cream. It won't work. It's a reactant. Science. See, it looks like my lip is splitting. It is. I mean, it does. I hate it. For no reason. And then it hurts. Uh-oh. Hold on. Okay. There. Excuse me. They're finally okay. So I made this video, but I'm gonna delete it. I saved it on my drafts on my Instagram, but I don't need to post it anymore because they're getting rid of them anyways. So I don't know if I told you guys. The gas station that I go to, well, I get the bus there. That's why I have to go there. I don't go to the gas station. I mean, unless I want to drink. But they have this like speaker that plays really loud, obnoxious like music, right? Hold on. Anyways, sorry, this song came on and wow. Um, that is creepy. Like putting Charlie Kirk's face on mine. Like every time I see that, I get like creeped because he's dead and it's creepy. I don't know, it's just something about it. Anyways, so they have these speakers that blow loud, obnoxious classical music because they're trying to keep the homeless people awake and they're trying to keep them from loitering, from like, you know, staying on property, you know, basically a whole thing. And they're getting rid of them because it's too expensive and people are complaining because people that live downtown are hearing that music all night. And I'm like, what? Whose bright idea was it to put speakers and blast music to keep homeless people awake and keep people from loitering? And then you've got the surrounding people that live in these near these places having to hear that obnoxious music. It was blasting, and they said, well, it's not a good thing because they took it down, and plus it was costing too much money. So you're gonna put money into that rather than put money into giving people housing? Whose bright idea was that? Instead of putting money into that and wasting money for that, which you just done wasted money because now you're gonna remove them and the money's gone already. You could have just put that money into helping people get housing. That's just so crazy. Like, and it's annoying to other people. It's gonna deter people from businesses. And when businesses have to shut down, they're gonna get mad at the city. Because who's gonna wanna go shop at a place? I mean, the music they play in the stores, they have certain radio stations that they play music that is popular because that's the type of music, you know, that people listen to. But nobody wants to hear loud blasting classical music when they go to the gas station. That's going to deter people from the gas station because it's not like modern or it's not like trending music. It's just classical music and it's loud and blaring. And especially if you sleep and you have an apartment and you live around there and you hear that all the time, that would annoy you. Imagine living downtown and having to hear loud blaring music all the time. Like, and you can't get any work done. What if you have to film videos and you got that loud blaring music 24/7? But it's a thing of like keeping homeless people awake and it's just stupid. There's a difference. It's actually good music. It's not classical music and it's not blaring. Thank you. It's because there's a sound bar that I cannot turn off. It's not directly the TV, there's a sound bar connected to that. Anyways, it's just crazy. Like, that doesn't help anyone because it's businesses are gonna shut down because people were already complaining and they took it down. So that should tell you something. They just put money into things that are wasteful and then it's a waste. Thinking about her every second, every hour, do my singing in the shower, picking petals up flowers like, do she love me, do she love me not? I ain't a player, you give me that kind of something, want it all the time, need it every day. It's literally at 14. Actually, it's at 12. If you want it, I got everything. You get whatever you want from me. Stay by your side and I'll never leave you. It has nothing to do with loud music. It has everything to do with the reason why they did that. Literally, homeless people have a right to sleep if they can't afford a place to live. What do you think? And if you're trying to keep homeless people awake, that's jacked up. Like, imagine not being able to sleep because of that music. And it's not even homeless people. You're keeping the people in apartments awake. Because the people that live around there are kept awake because of that music. That's like that one where the lady was walking around that one reality show where she's like, if I don't get to sleep because of y'all not gonna sleep because of me. And like slamming the pots and pans because like, yeah, that's like, whose bright idea was that? Hey, don't know how you did it. That's not even the issue though. That's not even the issue. It's not a business issue. They don't want people loitering around the business, which doesn't help. And they're not sleeping at someone's business. Yes, some of these people do, because there is no place to sleep. You can't even sleep at a park without getting harassed by police and telling them to get up. Right? It's not, and there's a bookstore that is fighting to let homeless people sleep on their property because they're saying it's a public nuisance, even though they allow them to sleep there because no everyone else is not allowing homeless people, so they did. And now other businesses are complaining, which is not right. If they want to allow them to sleep there, let them. People are going to shop at this business just because they're letting homeless people sleep there. All these other businesses that are getting shut down are getting shut down for a reason. You be nasty, you're gonna get shut down. The way you treat homeless people is why you get shut down. If you just made accommodations, then maybe. Homeless people did not choose to be homeless. And yes, some of them might have, like some people say, but not every homeless person chooses to be homeless. The system is built for people to be homeless. So it makes no sense why you're blaming homeless people for a system. Homeless people can't get a job because they don't have an address. They won't hire someone without an address, and you seem to forget that. Especially because a lot of them don't have IDs. They've had their documentation stolen and can't afford an ID. Like it's only $10, but some people still can't only afford $10. There's so much that goes into why homeless people can't work. Especially like how do you expect a homeless person to go to work? And they don't even have access to a shower. And it's a hassle as it is going to work and then going to a shelter. Imagine having to go work a 9 to 5 job and return to a shelter from work. Like, you've got hoarders, right? You've got billionaires and millionaires that are hoarding all this money that they can just take and provide houses for people. They can provide housing for homeless people, help them get back on their feet, and at least help them get a job. Because how do they expect homeless people to get a job? Saying, "Oh, you could go get a job." Okay, so he can go walk from wherever he's holding that sign to go apply at Wendy's, and they'll deny him a job because not only does he not look or dress for the job, right? Because he's homeless and probably doesn't have access to a shower like most people do, right? And there are some places that provide showers, but sometimes some people can't get there every day, right? But you expect someone to walk and go apply and then be denied because they don't have an address. Like, I don't understand what it is about making fun of homeless people. There's nothing funny about being homeless. I'm glad I have a roof over my head because it's cold out there right now. Winter's coming, and there's going to be people sleeping out there in the winter because they can't afford a place to live. Not even a fixed disability income is enough for people to pay for an apartment. So when people get on disability, they're going to be stuck. Because not even disability is enough to afford a place to live, and that is so sad. Like, not even disabled people can afford a place to live. And it's so crazy that people can't even afford a place to live, but you act like they're supposed to. How do you expect someone that only gets 1,000 some a month in disability to afford a place when they require you to have 3 times the rent? And you have to have first and last month's rent. So that's like $6,000. Nobody is not making $6,000 at McDonald's or any other fast food joint for that matter. It's possible to make $6,000 at McDonald's. Tell me where. You lying. This is not possible. You must be lying out your mind. We. But only thing that's saving you is the heart of a woman. Ooh. Just, it's so crazy. Like, you just think people are supposed to, like, I can't imagine. And people justifying bullying is so insane. Did you not read my caption of that video that you continuously bullied me on? Wow, it's insane. That mother got bullied for having sickle cell and being told Shamar looking head ass. And then the kids proceeded to say, look at her ankles. You don't even know, like, the battles someone is struggling daily. You probably never lived with sickle cell, which is a very debilitating disease that sometimes people have a hard time getting out of bed. And you decided to bully her, and she may give up. That's what I think about. That lady is probably going to give up now and not want to fight to survive and beat whatever disease she has because you made fun of her. And the kids are going to be without a mother because you thought it was funny. Just like that flip the camera trend. Like, there's nothing funny about that. That's bullying. That's straight up bullying. Oh, you like this song? I like this song too. Cause you weren't the only girl, so was. It's not womp womp if that was your mother getting bullied. You know, because when you defend your mother, are you gonna let her get bullied? Because I don't want to see you come in here and be like, well, they bullied my mom. I'll be like, womp womp. That's somebody's mother that got bullied unprovoked. Why is that like womp womp? That's not funny. She was just picking up her kids from school and she got jumped and bullied. And then was literally told, like, why are you making fun of her and then referring to her as Shamar? That's definitely ableism. These kids learned ableism at a young age. They're bigots. That young elementary school kids being bigots is not cute. It really isn't. It's not a good look for you considering that you are minorities. And it was a bunch of black kids at that have to face what they're gonna face when they grow up. And even as a young age, being told things because of their skin color. But yet you chose to be a bigot at a young age. That's not cute. Ableism is a thing. Ableism is literally being ableist against disabled people. It is being discriminatory against disabled people. Literally referring to her as Shamar, who literally has a crooked back, is ableist because she has sickle cell. She literally has sickle cell, and then because she walked a little funny, because she looked a little funny, they call her Shamar head looking ass. Yeah, that is very disabled. There's nothing funny about Shamar's back being crooked because you wouldn't know. I know somebody that I found out they had scoliosis. What if your back was crooked? That's not funny. You know, God could take matters into his own hands and you could end up like a disabled person because he could punish you and be like, well, you know what? You want to make fun of disabled people? I'll really show you. You shouldn't take life for granted. And people need to stop taking things for granted. Because you're lucky you can walk straight, that you have legs, that you have arms, that you have hands, that you're able to see and you're not blind, or that you're not deaf, and you can't enjoy music, or that you're not blind and it's constant darkness all the time. Because blind people do have a hard time sleeping sometimes. Because they're in constant darkness because they're blind. You have to be thankful that you have what you have. And to literally sit here and be ableist is crazy to me. Like I don't get it. And like people being like, you're ableist, why would I be ableist? I literally have a relative that is disabled. It makes no sense when you sit here and project what you do onto others without holding yourselves accountable and saying, well, you don't hold yourself accountable. What does that have to do with you excusing being ableist? I don't got nothing to do with you being ableist. So you're saying it's okay? Oh, it's okay. I can do it because you didn't hold yourself accountable. That's dumb. That's not how it works. Like, so weird. Oh, I'm gonna scream the N word at you because I can, because you didn't apologize. What? Hey, because I knew you, I have been changed for the better. I have been changed for good. Like, I'm just saying, this constant, it's like, why does someone have to hate every single group? It's like, why do you have to hate the LGBTQ? Why do you have to hate minorities and people because of their skin color? Why do you have to find a reason to hate disabled people? What did they do to you? Disabled people didn't do nothing to nobody. And not only that, right? Disabled people and gay people were in concentration camps, if you didn't know that. They were also in those camps. And it's so crazy to think, right? I couldn't imagine. Dang, I'm like getting sleepy. I don't think I'm gonna be able to stay awake. Well, I'm not gonna be live on here late because I have things to do tomorrow. My shirt is like I was thinking of something that I said earlier. Oh god. Uh-oh. Here we go. Man, they need to give me my money back. They sided in favor with the company and like they reopened it. They were like, we're gonna reopen it. And I said, you better, because that's what I was thinking in my head. Because first of all, I said I didn't use their website. I said I tried it for a month, and what's the point of like it didn't even work. I didn't see no results. And then I said I forgot to turn off the automatic payments. And then I said I do have the email where I emailed them and they told me that it didn't process. They were like, your card was declined. And I was like, okay. And what they told me was to wait and I would receive the refund is what they told me. And so then, yeah. And so then they reopened it because I was like, I have the emails. And I'm going to give them the email where they said that they said that my card was declined, it didn't process, and that to wait, essentially I would get the refund. So I'm going to tell them, look, like you need to give me my money back because the company is not going to give it to me. They're trying to take that money that is not theirs. They said, because I said, well, I didn't use it. So I asked about a refund and they essentially told me I would be getting it back. But they said that, they were like, your card was declined, it didn't process, which they said the money was on hold, which is still, it was on hold. I could see it was. They said basically to wait for it to get off hold and I'll get it back, is what they implied. And I told them that. I was like, they implied that. But then they were like, nah. They said, okay, we'll reopen it. They reopened it. And I'm gonna have to call them and be like, look, I need you to give me my money back because the company's not gonna do it. They already are trying to take money that is not theirs. I said, because they told me it didn't process, that my card was declined. And then now they're trying to take this payment, like, and the thing didn't even work. I used it for a whole month, and what was the point of using it for a whole month if I didn't see no results in a whole month? Like, to pay $400 and I'm not making money is insane. I'm not gonna put money into something that I'm not making money. I'm not gonna throw like $800 down the drain in 2 months because, you know, it is it's it was something. I'm not even gonna say it because no. But anyways, it's a large amount of money to be putting into something that I'm not making money. I like it. I like it. I like it. Yes, I do drink water. Trust it, we reviving, come in, out. Can't stop now. Shut your mouth. Now you know I made on the babe. And I'm just like, it's just so frustrating because it's just like, you can just give me my money. And then there was another company that took money, and I literally told them, I was like, I don't recognize this company. It was a delivering service place. I don't know why they took $13, but they took $13, and I'm like, well, I really want to see if they're gonna take money anymore. They assured me they're not gonna take money, which I highly doubt that because they'll take $13 another month. I think they're the ones that took money before a while, like years back. I don't know what it was. It was some type of delivery service thing because I didn't know what it was, and I looked up the website because I looked up the transaction and it's like the website, so I went to their website and it's a food delivery service thing. So I told her, I was like, well, I don't know who this is and I don't authorize it. So they were like, well, you'll get your refund back. Like, just hold on and it won't process. You'll get a refund. No, they took $13. And I'm like, so I had to tell them about that too because I was like, yeah, they took $13. And she told me that it would process and I would get my refund. And then they took the money. And he's like, well, you're going to have to contact them and get a refund. And I forgot I'm getting paid. Well, that's good. Hopefully I get this payment because I gotta pay my phone bill. They took the stupid... I'm waiting on that refund because they reopened it, so... If I don't get this payment, then I'm gonna have to pay it like I did last time. And get a shitty, plan until I can pay the other half. Because I'm not going to be able to pay the full amount, so I'm going to have to get a cheaper service. And that only gives you 4 gigabytes of data, which I hate, because then I won't be able to get service for a while, my full service. And then I'm like, well, I can't go anywhere because I don't have data. Like, this is... That's so annoying. Because I haven't been posting 1-minute videos on my main page, and that's what is messing me up, because I have all of these videos where I talk about something and then it's too old, or sometimes I don't post it and then I need to start posting those videos. Like, I've been too focused, like trying to do the housing stuff, and then other things that like I have been, like I do post like videos, but I forget, like I have to post 1-minute videos, and I haven't even posted any 1-minute videos this month either. So next month I'm probably not even gonna get a payment, except that little payment that I have right now on my page. Well, yeah, the other things is housing. The boy is mine. I can't wait to try him. It's just so crazy. Like, when I focus on important things like housing, then you say like da 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 da. But like, you wanted me to focus on that, and I'm not doing it because you told me to. I was already doing it. But then it's like I'm doing what I have to do, and then you fucking complain about it, and it shows time and time again that it was never about bettering myself. Cause someone said that in Reddit. They said if you really cared and you wanted her to better herself, and when she does do it, you still harass her. Like, make that make sense. They said she's doing everything to better herself, and you're still. Like, does that make any sense? I didn't shame Ari. Someone in the comment section said that. And why are you making fun of Ariana Grande's body type? Why do you care about body types when you let people be fat phobic? So why are you trying to sit here and claim that you cared about Ari's body when you fat shame people? So you don't really care about it. So why are you being performative? Because you don't tell anybody anything when they're being fat phobic in the comment section. All I did was eat some ice cream and people were being fat phobic. Again, hypocrites. And you want to talk about hypocrites? You're hypocrites. So only skinny people matter? F the fat people, right? It's okay to be fat phobic. Nobody cares. That is so weird. See, proves my point. Then you can't talk. Then you can't complain about the Ari thing because you don't care all the way around. That's hypocritical of you. No, you can't. That's like literally saying, I'm gonna let my friend say the N-word and then be like, well, you can't be racist. That's not how it works. You look goofy. You sound goofy. Maybe you should laugh like Goofy and be like, yo. And just like, cause, man, you goofy. Seriously, be like, yo. And just start doing your little dance. Oh, you love my profile pic? Thank you. I need the Ray-Ban Meta glasses again. So deep inside of me, I don't know what to say. I never try to better myself. How would you know that? Do you know what I'm doing? You don't need to know what I'm doing. So, what do you mean I never tried to better myself? Being homeless is not a choice. I don't give a fuck what you say about some stupid ass uncle. I could give a fuck if he died tomorrow. I wouldn't care because he's a punk bitch. I'm not gonna stay with someone who screamed at my mom, and you're trying to tell me that I'm a bad daughter for getting mad at logical things because she was telling people shit she shouldn't have been telling people on Station Head. But it's okay for her brother to come every day and yell at her and scream at her. Not only that, treat his kids like a dog. His kids were little kids, and he told them to pick it up like they was a dog. And you don't even know the half of it. Why do you think his kids don't even want to talk to him? And I have contact with his kids. His kids talk to me more than they talk to their dad. Isn't that not fucking sad? And you want to sit here and say that I denied help from him? He didn't even know we were homeless. So how could he offer a place if he didn't even know we were homeless? We didn't tell anybody. I literally just told you that, and you're as, I don't even know. I was gonna say something, but I can't say that. Like, stupid bitch, man. Like, do you guys ever listen? I said if we didn't tell none of our family members we were homeless, does that not prove that he's lying? Because why would he offer us a place if he never knew we were homeless? Like, dude. They don't know my situation. And no, he's kicked us out several times. It wasn't the first time. Me and my mom, my dad, and my brother both stayed at my grandma's house. He got into it with his son, my uncle's son, my dad and my uncle's son, right? My cousin. So my dad and my cousin were fighting on the floor. they got into it. I don't know what it was, but he got into it with my dad. We were all living there. And basically my uncle came, and then we were gonna sleep on a park bench, right? Because that's what always happens, right? He doesn't give a fuck where we sleep. He tries to act like he was there for us, but he wasn't, because my other uncle had to get us a motel room when we were in elementary school. And my mom, yeah, we were in elementary school and he threw us out. And so my other uncle talked to the guy and he gave us a free motel room. Like, my uncle had literally helped us because we didn't have nowhere to go. We were going to go to a shelter. And after the motel room, we ended up having to go to a shelter. I was in a shelter in elementary school because that's the uncle that gives a fuck, right? Like you said. Then the second time around, me, my mom, my brother, and my dad were living with her. And my dad got into it with my cousin, and my uncle came and told us we had to get out. So we called the shuttle that takes you to the shelter, and they said, "Well, I don't know. We're gonna have to see because they said I don't know. We're gonna have to see because we may not have room." So we were like, "Oh, great! We were gonna have to take all of our stuff and sleep on a bench." And that's the same uncle that claims he wants to give us a place to live so he could throw us out again. I'm not doing that. That's gaslighting. And you may be gaslit by that man, but I'm not going to be gaslighted. I know exactly what it was like dealing with him in the first place. Why would I want to go deal with him again, anyways? You literally want to sit here and believe someone who slings drugs? So you're defending a drug lord? That is so crazy. First of all, you want to literally call out everything, but then you support a drug lord. Like, what are you? Well, let's be for real. No, I'll play this time. I'll play this. You don't even know what my uncle is like. You don't even know nothing. Why do you think his kids are talking to me and not him? They want nothing to do with him. His brothers want nothing to do with him. The family, my grandma's family, wants nothing to do with him. That's why everyone in the family is talking to us and not him at all. He's the one who stole money from my grandmother, if you really want to talk about it, right? Because he wants to sit here and say my brother stole cigarette money. No, you stole thousands of dollars for her fence. Where was that fence that was supposed to be built? Remember? The one your brother was going to build, but you took the money? Because you robbed her? Oh yeah, he doesn't tell you that part either. He wants to act like, oh, my brother stole cigarettes. My brother didn't even smoke cigarettes. He vaped. Everybody knows that. Trying to lie on my brother when he's dead, when you and your wife try to take over the house. You let grandma die so you could keep the house. That's what happened. And I believe that. I really believe what my mom said, because why was my grandmother sick for a week? My grandmother was sick for a week before my uncle took her to the hospital. And I think he was hoping she died so he got the house. Because that's what he does. He's a materialistic asshole. And he's not even supposed to get the house. It's supposed to go to his son. But his son doesn't care enough because he has his own house. All because you want to defend someone who murdered their own mother. My grandma was sick for a whole week before she went to the hospital. And he said, no, I'll do it. He wanted to be the only one. He told my uncle to stop taking her to the doctor appointments, to stop taking her for her medication. He would do it. He's the one who isolated her. And the only reason why he is the way he is now, which my uncle is right, is because my grandma never said anything to him. And if my grandma would have stood up for herself and said something, maybe he wouldn't be the asshole he is today. And I do feel that way. And my mom didn't outright say it like that, but she said that he is responsible. And again, if someone is elderly and they're sick, take them to the hospital. Why do you wait a whole week? And you literally proved you didn't care when he was arguing about a car part while my grandma was on her last breath, slowly breathing and dying. And he's fighting with my other uncle over a car part, which my other uncle didn't want to argue with him, but he continued. He kept on. He wanted to argue over a car part, and they were not there for that. And then you caused your brother to get up and leave and not even be there, and they all left when grandma died. Is that not fucked up? And then you're over there like kneeling. My mom said he was kneeling like he was Elvis, and they threw the cape over him. Like, I was like that. Like, I really wish I would have took a picture. You should have seen the theatrics of that one. My grandma's dying and you act like Elvis. You're laughing. You would really laugh when you would have saw that, because I started laughing. I busted out laughing because my mom was not wrong on that one. He was literally kneeled there like he was Elvis with the coroner as they were taking her. That's not even the half of anything. He didn't even raise his son. He was out partying, so my grandma said, "Let me raise him." That's why she gave my cousin the house, was because she raised him. And because she raised him, she said he was like my son, so nobody argued. My mom said that's fine, because she said, "I don't care about the house. I just care that you're alive." The only person who cared about the house was him. He was the only one that was trying to take the house. He called my mom and told my mom, "I have somebody going over. I'm going to have mom change the will and give me the house." And my grandma said that she had someone coming over to sign some papers. So my mom called her and said, "Mom, please make sure you know what you're signing. Look at it, because he called and he said that he's going to have you sign over the house." And she said, "Oh no, I'm not changing the will. Me and your father, my grandpa made that will. We are not changing that." Mind you, there's two different wills. There is two alternate wills, which makes no sense. One will says I'm supposed to get some stuff, and another will doesn't even have that. The other will doesn't even have that in there. Because my aunt has the original will. Or maybe, no, I think maybe we looked, because she had the original, and then I think we found out that we made a mistake. But anyways, so be it. Well, not my aunt, my grandma's sister, my mom's aunt. But it's still so crazy to me that you believe this guy. Like, you really want your nephew buried, and you say that you would help bury your nephew, but then you talk shit on him when he's dead and try to say that he stole cigarettes. A pack of cigarettes does not compare to thousands of dollars being stolen from her bank account. Like, you literally stole from your own mother. I've never stole money from my mother. That is jacked up. Imagine taking thousands of dollars from someone because she was supposed to have a new fence, because she had an old rundown fence, and my uncle said, "Well, I'll fix your fence." Then my grandma called him and said, "No, never mind, don't worry about it. My other uncle, you know, he'll do it for me." And that uncle knew that he wasn't gonna do it. It was never gonna get done. Sure enough, it didn't. Then my uncle brought it up and was like, "Well, what happened to your fence? What happened?" He took the money, and then she didn't want to say. She said, "Well, I no longer have the money for the fence anymore. I no longer can do that." And she didn't want to say why. She said, "I just don't want to talk about it." That's what she told my uncle. She said, "I just don't want to talk about it anymore." Like, this is so insane. Like, he literally stole $1,000 from her bank, and he's the one who had access to her bank. Nobody else had access to it. He's the one who had access to her credit cards. He's the one who had access because he was saying everybody else was stealing. He even accused her own sister of stealing. And her sister never stole from her sister. It's so crazy. How are you going to accuse my grandma's sister of stealing? It's projection. He was about to be homeless and lose his house. That's why he wanted to take my grandma's house because he could no longer afford to rent that house or to live. He was about to be homeless and lose his house because he couldn't afford to pay on the house. So he was trying to get his grubby little hands on the house because he knew, you know, I didn't steal from my stepdad. He told us we could use his disability. I didn't use it unless he said so. He told us we can use it. He said to manage it and to pay because we told him we have to pay the rent with this and we have to keep this place. We're working on getting a place. We was. But when people kept calling places to get us evicted, it didn't help the fact that we were trying to get a place and everything just kept going up from one place to another. It got more expensive. And you have to have first and last month's rent. And being on my dad's fixed income, that was still not enough for us to provide a place to live because the place we were living at was the cheapest place we had. Our apartment was a 3-bedroom apartment for $810. And because they said, you can come back, but he can't, why are we going to go back to a place that my dad can't go to? And then you need first, last month's rent. You need 3 times the rent. And everything was so expensive that we wasn't able to get a place. And plus, my thought process, I told my mom, like, look, we got to find a place to put him because we're going to have this issue. My dad has mental health issues. He's going to go back into this slump where he doesn't need to take his medication. He's being poisoned. And don't say that I messed up his dosage. Like, we're not talking about that. So stop moving from one, because I know someone's going to say something. Why did you tamper with his medication? Like, stop. We're not talking about that. What I said is that he gets in these episodes. He thinks he's being poisoned by the government. And then, okay, well, fine. If I tampered with his medication, then you let the VA kill him, okay? No way did I say I tampered with his medication. The VA over medicated him so much so that he was sick. They gave him too much medication so he would go to sleep because they didn't want to deal with him. That's what they do with patients that are at the VA that are in the mental side of the hospital. They give them so much medication, they drug them up so they could sleep all day. My dad didn't call my mom for a whole day because they gave him too much medication to sleep. And then when they gave him too much of his medication for his bipolar, they were giving him more on top of that, and he said he was not feeling good. He said that it was hurting his stomach and he was getting very sick. So they said, "Well, stop giving him his medication. Let it wear off, and then we will put him back on the right dosage." No way, shape, or form did I mess with his medication when I don't even administer medication. They have to do that. It's a shot, and you have to go to the hospital or have someone come give it to you. He no longer has access to that because the person who was coming to give it to him, he threatened him. That's why we had that raid, and we didn't even know that he would threaten the guy. So because of that, they said you are no longer allowed to have anyone go to your house and give you the medication. You have to go to the VA. That is something that you don't have on hand. And if a doctor gives it to you, they can give it to you into a form of a pill. But he does not take the pills, so he has to get the shot. It is court ordered. Because with the pills, he'll flush it down the toilet and say that he took it. He tried to take the pills again. That didn't work. He had the pills himself. We don't have access to that because if we have access to the medication, we will get it because then he'll say if something happens to him, then he'll blame us and say we tried to poison him, which we didn't because he had a mother who would poison him. Every time he ate her meatloaf, he got sick. But when he ate my mom's meatloaf, he never got sick. And he's like, how come I can eat your meatloaf, but when I ate my mom's meatloaf, I got sick? And she said, well, don't you kind of think she was poisoning you? If we would have had access to his medication, we would have really got it. And I tend to stay away from his stuff because then he takes it on me because that's the bipolar, right? And what would have happened was is he would have said that we tried to poison him even though we wouldn't have. What did you put in my food? What did you do to it? He was already doing that to my mom. And I was like, what? Why would you think that your own family would poison you? He got paranoid because he's schizophrenic. Bipolar schizophrenic. He has the worst kind of bipolar. So his schizophrenia got to him. And then he started having these manic episodes. And then he would be like, what did you do? My mom would make stuff and then he would throw it. He would throw it in the trash. And then he would go make it himself. That's a waste of food. Like, he would literally go throw the food in the trash. And then make it himself because he believed we were doing something to it. Like, my brother would be nice enough to go buy stuff from a fast food restaurant and bring it. And then he would yell at him and say, well, what did you do to it? And then he would say, don't bring me nothing anymore. That's what he told my brother. Don't bring me nothing because I know you're trying to. I was like, I even got into it with him because I was like, why do you think we're poisoning you? I said, and I even cussed at him. I said, don't fucking say that we're poisoning you. It's an argument back and forth. And he does not stand down from an argument. I'm not going to sit there and let him accuse any of us of poisoning him. Like, I'm going to argue back. Like, I don't care who you are. A biological father, which he is my biological father or not, you're not going to talk to any of my family members like that. He yelled at my mom for no reason. He would have manic episodes. And he would say, like, what did you do? He would make us throw stuff away we just bought because he believed we poisoned it. There was something in there. I was like, we don't have money to be buying this stuff because we were getting it off of food stamps. And you're telling me to throw this away? That's literally what he would do. He would literally do that. No, that's not, I'm not lying. That's the schizophrenia part of it. And that's not even the half of it. He did hit me. He did hit me. And not only did he hit me, he choked me too. Because I said something to him. And I wouldn't stop because he got mad and he told me to shut up and I wouldn't shut up. You're not going to talk to me like that. Yes, that was at the apartment that we lived at. Yes, he did. Me and my brother walked out. It was like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. My brother walked. I just went outside, right? I just left. I said, I ain't dealing with this. I had a phone, my Android phone. I threw it at the wall. I got mad, yes, and I threw it. I shouldn't have damaged my phone, but you shouldn't have hit me in the head. Like, yes, he did hit me. And he grabbed me by the neck and he went like that and I went on the floor and he was like, he didn't choke me to the point where I couldn't breathe, but he choked me and my mom said, stop. And then I said, you know what, F this. So then that was another incident. And then there was an incident where he hit me and my brother stepped in and told him, don't hit her. And so I walked out. I said, you know what, fuck this. And my mom said, no, if you leave, I'm leaving with you. And I said, no, I'm leaving. I'm going. So I left. It was like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. And my brother completely left. He walked all the way. He was like somewhere, like he was like Louisiana. I don't even remember where. And he had to have a cop bring him back because my dad finally let us in and then he apologized. But he does stuff like that. Like he'll snap and then the next thing you know, he'll apologize. But he did hit me. And he did choke me. All because he got mad that I wouldn't be quiet. Well, why should I have to shut up? I don't have to take shit from nobody. Like, I'm not gonna take shit from nobody. You're not gonna sit here and think that you could talk to anybody that kind of way. It's just like when you see something like that, right? It's just like why would you allow yourself to be like that? Why would you allow yourself, right? Why would you allow yourself to not want to be better and not be on your medication? Like, he does not see his actions when he's off his medication versus when he's on it. No, he didn't SA me. He hit me. And then he choked me because it was something that happened and he snapped. And I didn't say anything at the time because I knew people would probably laugh at that. And I already told people that he hit me. Like, people said he should have hit you again. Like, is this the type of advocacy that you're advocating for? Like, that's so crazy. Like, you want to sit here and claim that you're fighting for victims, but then you literally sit here and say, like, oh, he should have hit you again. I did. I said this a while back, and people said that he should have hit me again. This was on a live stream. They said this. But the choking part, I didn't say that because, it was just issues. Like, my mom he would get mad and have my mom make him eggs at like dinner time, and then he would get mad at her and say, "What did you do to it?" And then he would throw it away and then go make himself some more eggs. And he was wasting a lot of food too, because he would just throw away good stuff. And I'd be like, "Why are you throwing our food away?" And not only that, he would throw our food away. What he did was he started throwing our food away and started only getting food for himself. Because he said if we're going to poison his food, then we don't deserve to eat. Like, that's the stuff that I went through. Like, he literally told me, my mom, and my brother that we didn't deserve to eat because we poisoned him, and we didn't even poison him. I would never poison my dad, but it's the paranoia. It's the schizophrenia, because he was schizophrenic. So he believed everyone was after him. The government was after him. The police were after him. The government poisoned him. He believed that he's the one who caused COVID. He said COVID is out there because of me. I wrote that down. That's the mentality of things. If you didn't, and it wasn't like, oh, you have to believe in God and you have to be in your faith. It was crazy outrageous. Like, if you don't believe that I'm the son of God, like, he believed he was the son, like, and it didn't make sense. Like, I know people say I'm the son of God, but not like that. It was crazier than that. And then he would write down, like, he would say so and so is gonna get a heart attack. And you saw some of the stuff he was posting on Twitter. He was literally threatening government people. He doesn't go out there and hurt and harm people. He never would. And he never would hurt and harm his family. But that day he just snapped. And yes, he did hit me. And the other time he did choke me. Because I wouldn't stop talking. I wouldn't be quiet. But I got mad. Because I'm not going to let him tell me to shut up. And then, like, he would get mad if I didn't go get him cigarettes. And I'm like, I don't need to go get you cigarettes. He would make me walk instead of him going to go walk for his addiction to get his cigarettes. And if I said no, then he would send my mom. And he literally sent me, right, and told me that if I didn't do it, I had to get out because I had to walk, carrying this flat screen TV that was not his. My brother wanted a TV from his job. And so my brother said, oh, I can put the TV out there for you guys to use it. He took my brother's TV and pawned it because my brother said, okay, well, oh, all right, you can pawn it. And then he started taking advantage. And anytime he needed money for cigarettes, he would pull it out and then he would go take it back and pawn it. And I said, that's not even your TV. My brother got me an Xbox 360, right? Because I like the older consoles too. So I had this Xbox 360, and my dad forced him to sell it. Because I said, where's my Xbox 360? Because, he was like, yeah, he made me sell it. I was like, but that's not even his. Like, we didn't have a choice. And then that's why when I got something, if it was something that was valuable, I had to hide it because he would have made me pawn that, and it's not his stuff. Like, if I would have had that Switch and I was living with him, he would have made me pawn it for some cigarettes. And then he would have told me if I didn't do it, I had to get out. Like, it's so crazy. Like, your cigarette addiction, like, I have to do that for your cigarette addiction. That is so crazy. I would get money, right, from the art place because I would mentor it. It was like a $40 check is all I got. So I would go to this bank and they would let me take all the 40 I didn't have to pay out of there. But then he would tell me, like, or especially with like TikTok or something like that, when I got money and I'd be like, oh, I need to go do something, I need to go take money out, then he would be like, well, give me cigarette money. Or he said, I'm not going to do it unless you give me cigarette money, which I understand. But my brother was the one who literally got the car, both cars. But my brother couldn't drive at the time because he didn't have his driver's license yet. I don't think. No, he didn't. He didn't have a driver's license yet, so my dad was driving him. But my dad got a brand new car in my brother's name. He didn't get the car in his name, and the other used car that he got, which was a Taurus, was not even in his name either. He got it in my brother's name because he couldn't. So he got it in my brother's name, and my brother said, all right, because he needed a car to get to work. So my dad was going to take it. So yeah. Well, actually, my dad prevented me from moving out because I did tell him. I said, well, I'm going to move out. And then he would, I don't know. He was like, he's like one of those parents where like they never let you do anything, and it's like you're not even a teen, you're an adult, and they still don't let you. Like, oh, like it was always something like, oh, I'm gonna get. And I was like, no, I'm just gonna move out. I said I don't want to live with you forever. And then he was just very not so much super controlling, but he was. I had to worry when I came home late that I wasn't gonna get screamed at or yelled at because one time we came home at 1 because we went to the movies. It's like movies in the plaza, Civic Plaza. They have this big old inflatable, and you watch movies. And so we would go with my friend. This is during the summer. They do this. I don't know if they still do it. I know they have the drive-in movies at the Balloon Fiesta Park, but they had it at Civic Plaza. So we got the last bus and we had to walk home, bike home actually, because we took our bikes. I had the mountain bike, and my brother had his bike, so we biked it home. But so we stayed and we missed the last bus because we stayed out to watch the movie. Then we biked it home, and I got in bed, and I'm like, phew, I didn't get yelled at, but I'm like, I'm gonna wait for him to say something tomorrow because he probably is because we came late. Because that's what happens. I always expected him to say something to me. that lady always has you out late, da 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 da. He had something to say about my friend, but I'm like, I don't even know why you're like that. Whenever you need cigarettes, she gives you it. And she has no questions. She doesn't ask why you need cigarettes, why you need this, why you did that. My friend was nice enough to give him cigarettes, and that's what he did. And I understand that I did come late, but I'm a grown adult. I can do whatever I want. It's not like I'm out there doing drugs or doing anything that is bad. Like, no, I'm not Christian. He would force my brother to go drive, to go get him cigarettes. And when my brother got paid, he even would ask his boss for cigarette money. My brother's boss. And he would literally ask my brother for cigarette money, and my brother would get fed up and be like, no. And then he would get mad at him, and then he would be like, fine. And my brother had no choice but to give him cigarette money. My brother was door dashing for his cigarette money. Like, my brother shouldn't have to go DoorDash for his money, but then he would do it, so he would leave him alone, because if not, my dad would not stop for the cigarettes. My brother shouldn't have had to do that, but he did. And that's not even, he threw $300 worth of my brother's K-pop stuff in the trash, and I didn't even know it, or I would have retrieved it. It was good stuff too. All of his K-pop albums in the trash. $300 worth of it. Yeah, it was K-pop albums and K-pop stuff that my brother collected. That he paid, it was a $300 collection because he was building a collection, and he threw it in the trash because my brother lent him the car, right? It wasn't my dad's car, it was my brother's car that he lent to him, and he started acting like mine, mine, mine. And my brother had the K-pop stuff in the car in the back, and he took all of it and he threw it. And he got mad at him and he said, "Give me my car back." And when he got the car back, he found out that he got tickets. He got a ticket for not driving. I don't know what it was. He wasn't driving drunk. It was something, and he said, if you're going to go get tickets with my car, then you're not going to be able to drive it. Because he got it into his head that that was his car, mine. He didn't give it to him. He said he could use it because he was going to work. My dad at the apartment, yes, he was working. He decided to go work an office job. That didn't work out because he couldn't be around people anymore, and he started getting annoyed. So then he stopped going. He would park the car and then he would go take the bus. And my brother said, that's fine, you can use the car for that. And then he got it into his head that it was his car. So he said he didn't want that shit in his car, and he threw it in the trash. $300 worth of K-pop stuff, and my brother was so upset. Like, that's not even his stuff that he paid for. He didn't essay me. That's not what I said. That's the stuff that I had to deal with. All while going live on social media when he snapped at me that day when I was like up until the sun came up, because I used to go live until the sun came up because I couldn't sleep. And then he started screaming at me on the live because he collected trash from his room and told me to go throw it. And I said, I'm not going to go throw your trash. You go throw your trash. Then because I refused to throw his trash, he unplugged the internet and said, well, you're not going to get internet. And he said something about, I don't know what it was. He just got mad and he said, well, you're not going to get internet. And then that's when I went and grabbed the Advils, and my mom stopped me from taking the Advils. And then I had messaged you know who, and then, well, he had messaged me during all that time that it was going on because he was worried. And I explained to him the whole situation. And I said, yeah, I tried to harm myself. And he said, don't do anything that stupid again. Promise that you won't do anything that stupid. And I was like, okay. I said, no, I won't do anything stupid. Even though, like, I did it again. But I mean, he doesn't care. It's not like he cares. He never really cared. So, anyways, um, or not Miss, but Mr. You know who. Like, anyways, so then during that whole time, that was when I didn't have internet for a whole day. And then I told my mom, well, I'm gonna go, because he was in that mood. He had a manic episode. He called the cops on me that day and told them that he wanted me out. And they said, well, how long have you been living here? And I said, well, I've been living here. And I told them. And then I'm standing there and I'm like, all because I didn't throw your trash that you collected. So then my mom said, well, if she's going to get out, then I'm going to get out. I'm going to go with her. And so then the cop said, well, she's established residency. She's been living here for longer than 7 months. So I'm going to have to advise you, sir, that you have to take her to court. And he goes, that's fine. That's fine. Like that, And then he's like, I'm sorry. And then he plugged, because we had another box, mind you. So what we did, we plugged in the other box. We secretly plugged in the other box and was using it. Because, all right, you're not going to give us Wi-Fi. People was worried because I didn't even have contact with no one for a whole day. They thought he did something because he was screaming at me on live stream. People was worried, and I had to notify them that I was okay. And I couldn't do that because he had this manic episode, and he just flipped out because I wouldn't throw his trash that he collected from his room that he could have went to the dumpster and threw himself. So then he called the cops on me and said, well, you're going to have to get out. And I was like, so you're telling me to get out because I didn't throw your trash that you collected? I said, that is lazy, because I said, you don't do nothing. All you do is sit back there all day and holler. I said, you holler, I said. And I said, when are you going to take your medication you're refusing to take? You can't tell them that, because then they snap. If they think that they're better without their medication and you try to tell them to take their medication, they snap. I'm like, you're not even doing nothing to get us out of the shithole, because that place was horribly infested. He had an opportunity. They were going to help him. A program through the VA to help him get a house. Every time he goes through the process of trying to do the program to get a house, then he says, no, I don't want to work with them. Well, do you want to live in this apartment the rest of your life? Like, what are you doing? Like, you can use your VA, you can use being a veteran to get a better place. And he just didn't want to, and he didn't want to get on his medication. And I told my mom that. I said, see, I told you not to let him take those pills, because then he was going to stop it. And he stopped taking the pills. And then that day he just snapped. He just snapped at me. He called the cops on me, and then he apologized and put the internet back on. And I said, no, every time you do something to me, you apologized. He literally got mad because I wouldn't take a photo for him on Instagram, and he told me he was going to poke me. I can't say, but yeah, you know what I mean. It's a sharp object that you cut food with, that you chop up food with. One time, I was like 18, 19 at the time, and he wanted me to take a photo for Instagram, because, a lot of the photos of him He would get mad too if we didn't take photos at the apartment too. He would set up his whole, like, the book stacked in the way that he took his photos of himself. He didn't take photos of himself. We had to take it, and we told him, well, you can prop up your phone and take it. No, you're gonna stand there and take these photos. And if we didn't take it, he would get mad. He would make my brother take photos. He would make my mom take photos. He made me take photos. So then what happened was that he got mad one time. There was a place we were staying at. I was like 18, 19. And I told him no. And he said, if you don't take these photos, I must. That's what he told me. And I said, Mom, I said, you're going to do what? And I said, no, I'm not going to take your photos, I said. You don't threaten me like that. That's what he literally told me. That is wild. That is not even like the half of the stuff that I had to go through. Like, I didn't say anything. I was going through that. And then, I didn't really say much of anything because, like, how am I going to tell the internet? They're already bullying me enough as it is. People don't even know what someone's going through, but then they bully people. It's just like, you don't even know what someone's going through. Like, that is so crazy. That is insane. You know what I mean? I don't want people to pile more and more on. Like, it's just so insane. Ouch. My nail is stuck up now. Because that's what I have to deal with. That's so crazy. What if I'm unpleasant looking, then why are you here? Like, and what did someone say? Because I saw that comment. But I don't know what happened. First of all, we didn't have access to his medication. I keep telling you that. He's the one who got his pills. If he didn't get it, then, man, that would have been bad. Why would I call the cops on him? He's a black man with mental illness. You saw what happened to that homeless man here in Albuquerque who was hurt, right? Did you see that homeless man who literally was unalived? They unalived him and said that he was trying to harm them with a weapon he didn't have. It was a cell phone. And if I would have called the cops on him, he would have flipped out because he does not do good with the cops. They wouldn't have been able to come in, and then it would have been a whole issue. I didn't call the cops because it wasn't as bad. Like him literally telling us to go get cigarettes, why am I gonna call a cop for that? And be like, well, my dad's forcing me to go get cigarettes. It was like things that you can't call the cops for. Like, oh, my dad is saying we're poisoning his food. Like, that's like the cops had other important things they have to like do. They have other people they have to attend to. Considering the fact that people already said I called the cops on him. They were literally saying you called the cops on your dad. No, I didn't. The only time the cops showed up was because of the VA, because he didn't go for his medication. And it's court ordered. When he doesn't go for his medication, the cops show up. So yeah. I mean, you wouldn't know what it's like because you never lived with someone with bipolar. Like, you don't know what you would do in that situation. Like, I already have been going through enough as it is. And it just bothers me how hypocritical people are. Like, I was going through a lot at that time. My grandmother was dying in the hospital, and my dad asked my mom if she would stop with her brother to get him a pack of cigarettes when she's trying to get to the hospital. And not only was that the issue, one of us had to stay behind. So my mom and my brother had to coordinate going to the hospital because they would say, well, you can't go because someone has to stay here. He would say, well, you guys can go, but one of you has to stay behind. All of you can't go. So if my grandma would have died in the hospital and I wasn't there, which I was hoping, luckily me, my mom, and my brother were both able to be there when she died. Otherwise, I said, please don't let my grandmother die and I'm not there. I was like, because she was dying already, what they called the death moan. So I don't want anybody to thank you for the gifts. I don't want anyone to say I'm hoping my grandmother was dying. No, the doctor said that she was dying for 4 days, so she was already dying. It's what they call the death moon because she kept saying something, but we couldn't really make it out. And we thought she was waiting for someone to show up before, because usually some people will wait for a certain relative to show up before they pass on. Her sister was the only one that hadn't come. My cousins, there was a few of my cousins, which I know she wasn't talking about them. And then we thought she was calling her son. Like, she went from talking in the hospital, like I fed her and everything. Like, she said, "Oh, can you feed me the fruit cup?" It was a fruit cup they had. And I was like, "Sure." She was talking to me, and then for 4 days she was death moaning and dying. Is what they call the death moon. She was dying for 4 days. She was in the hospital when Kobe died. And when Kobe died, I had took a picture of the sky because there was a cloud that was shaped like an angel. And I was like, that's so crazy. And then that's when my brother called and told me, did you know Kobe died? Or I think it was my mom. No, it was my brother. And I said, Kobe died. And so then, anyways, my grandma for 4 days was dying. And me and my brother stayed behind one night because we spent the night at the hospital. Because we were concerned because she was at the hospital. So my brother said, let's spend the night. Because he would drive us there. He had a car himself. But my uncle would take us sometimes. But when my brother worked, he couldn't take us. So then we spent the night and my uncle spent the night. So it was me, my brother, and my uncle. We stayed there overnight because we were really concerned. Right? My grandma's in the hospital. She's not getting better. And she's not getting out of the hospital. Usually she's out like the next day. Usually she's better. She's back on her feet and she's good. But she wasn't. And then she was dying for 4 days. And we had to alternate. And that's why I said, please don't let her pass away while I'm not there. Because it was already too late. She was dying. And so then somehow we were all able to be at the house. Me, my mom, and my brother, thankfully. He allowed all of us to go. He said, well, you can go as long as because, he knew we had to be there because she was going to pass on. She went home for hospice. Home hospice. That's where they take you when you want to die at home. So yeah, they took her. Home hospice. And so then she passed away at her home. But, that's literally all that I went through. That's a lot. It's just so crazy. But I have stuff that I have to do tomorrow, so I gotta go. But have a good day or night where you guys are. I will see you guys later. Yeah, I have to get to bed because you yeah, I have to get some sleeps. I have stuff that I have to do, and I have to take this makeup off. So, yes. Anyways, thank you for liking, commenting, gifting, watching, and I will see you guys later. I gotta go get to bed. Bye, guys. Bye-bye.